think it's super helpful that employees have a person that is so good with people and reads people and knows exactly what they need, because each employee with their different strengths has different things that they need. So with Sally, she's able to kind of break that down, know what you need, and make it the best working experience you can. I think what Sally has taught us is that working from a strength-based system like she does, she's always like looking for what your strengths are, so she puts you in the best spot. One of the best things for any employee is to be in a good fit situation. So I think Sally's helped in my role to guide employees to what their strengths are so that they're happier working, so that they're more efficient working, and so that they're more valuable worker to our organization. I do also feel a huge value to the coaching with Sally is having the staff to have a third person to talk to. Sometimes when you just have your supervisor to talk to, you might not be as honest because you don't want them to think they do not know, feel like the supervisor doesn't know what you're doing, I guess is what I'm saying. So having Sally as a third person, it gives them a chance to tell how they really feel, get some guidance without their direct boss having to know that they might not know how to handle a certain situation, or they might not know how to handle someone else's personality. So having Sally there, they have that buffer to be able to be perfectly honest. Working with Sally is different because, number one, she actually has knowledge of Parks and Recreation, which when you work with other consultants with coaching, they're coaching to like a broad spectrum of fields. So it's not directed towards Parks and Rec. So I think the nice thing about Sally is she does know Parks and Rec. She understands things that only Parks and Rec people would, like, summers are insane, and we're ready to pull our hair out, and giving tools to, take that moment for yourself to, decompress when life is just nuts in our field. So I think that's great. I also think that she is very good at giving individual attention. So other programs might be more of a large approach. Her approach is very individualized and, right at the employee's needs directly. So I also say Sally's like having a priest, a bartender, and a counselor all in one, because she's, very good at giving advice to people, keeping that information, people feeling confident that she's going to hold on to that information and trusting her with that. In our situation, we've had probably 10 at the city level, 10 at the county, give or take, in each area. And she met with them each individually, looked at their strength base, and then she brings everybody together to kind of talk about us as a group and what our goals are and, how we think things should proceed in a group setting. And so it's super helpful because you're not only taking the individuals, but now you're trying to bring the group together as well. One of the things that I've learned is that each employee is a little bit different. And the way that you work with them is important to know what their strengths are, because if you don't know each employee and how they work and how they don't work, you are setting them up for failure and you're setting yourself up for failure. So by understanding like that, for example, one person is more analytical than another person, you now know that they're not just looking at you like what's going on, they're actually processing how it's going to work. And I'm a relationship person, so I understand people that are more relationship based. So it's good for me to understand some of the other groups and how they work, because it only makes our team stronger. In the case of Port Huron, we have one strength in every single category of every one of our division heads. So what I learned is that we can pull on each one of those strengths in each one of those categories, and that helps overall us to make a better team. Parks and Recreation, especially now, is, we're working harder with less always, and we're actually busier than we've ever been after COVID and all that kind of stuff. We're feeling, I think, a higher level of burnout than ever before. So to have these types of resources are so important for our employees. And, a lot of supervisors will say, well, I can do it. I don't need the help of others and that kind of thing. But you do, because not only does your employees need help, but you need the support as well. So it saves, it helps in saving time, making you work more efficiently. Sometimes employees need more time to get the help they need. And sometimes supervisors, with the stretched thin as they are now, don't have the time that the employees need or deserve. And not that they wouldn't still, but I'm just saying this helps to give that extra support to the staff that they so need right now.